Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do this really nice glam red lip look with smoky eyes. I really love the way this turned out and you guys did as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So first, as always, I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes. I'm actually going to be a weirdo and like smile at myself in the camera because I'm weird. And then I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes. Of course, I'm using my Urban Decay Potion Primer in Original, applying this right to the eyes and then blending it out with my fingers. And then for today's palette, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Modern Renaissance, which you guys know has been my go-to favorite palette this past couple months. I've done so many tutorials with it. So first, I'm going to go in with the shade all the way in the upper left called Tempura or Tempura or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go ahead and put this down as my brow bone highlight. So pressing that in right underneath my brow, and then I'm going to go ahead and blend it down into the rest of my eye look. I always like to go off and start with my brow bone highlight and then blend all the shadows into it so it all blends together. Then going in with Scotch tape, I'm going to rip it off, a piece of it, and put it on the back of my hand to get off the stickiness, and then put it lining up with my lower lash line going upwards. After that, then I'm going to go ahead with a big fluffy brush. This one is by Smashbox, and I'm taking the shade Raw Sienna, tapping off the excess just to get off all the excess product, and then I'm going to go ahead and go back and forth, going from outer corner all the way to inner corner and going in circular motions. I really want to make sure that this one, of course, is blended because this will be our transition shade. So just going back and forth, and just making sure that everything is nice and blended. Then I'm going to go back in with that shade that we used for our highlighting shade, and I'm going to go ahead and put this all over my lid. Actually kind of mainly in the inner half of my lid. As you can see, this is just going to be our lid shade, so going in and putting that all over the lid using that same fluffy brush that I used before to put down our brow bone highlight. Then I'm going to go in with another palette, but I'm going to use the black. This is Noir by Anastasia, but any black shadow that you have will do. And I'm going to go in with my Sigma E45 brush, which is such an amazing brush. I feel like everyone needs this in their collection. And I'm going to go ahead and apply this black right into the outer V of my eye, also blending it down into my lash line and then putting it into the crease. Now, I did go in later on and I will blend a brown into this shade. If it was me, if I was redoing it, I would go ahead and put the brown down first and then add the black, because unfortunately I wasn't thinking, and when I went ahead and blended the black with the white, it kind of made the shadow turn more gray than black. As you can see, now I'm going to go in with Cypress Umber out of the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm going to go ahead and put this right into the crease. So if I could redo it, I would probably go in with the Cypress Umber first and put that down into the crease, and then go in with the black so that the black could be more of a black, of course, then have it turn into a gray color because of our lid shade. So it's just a little bit of a tip. I do still love the way that it turned out, of course, but if I were to redo it, that's probably what I would do. So just going in with that black, I'm just going to go ahead, like I said, put it in the outer corner and then bring it into the crease. I am bringing it pretty much all the way into my inner corner, as you see me doing here, but not all the way in. Pretty much just right there, right to where my eye kind of stops in a sense. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that everything is nice and blended, switching between my E25 blending brush and then of course my big fluffy brush, just to make sure everything is nice and blended. Then after that, I'm going to go ahead and do my wing liner. I'm just leaving my tape down because it's just so much easier and you want to make sure that your wings are perfect. So I'm using my Inkjet Gel Liner number 77 as always with my Sigma E65. I love using the tape. I know that some people think maybe it's like cheating, but honestly, I'm a perfectionist, so if I feel my wings are off, it will completely ruin my day. So tape is always my go-to. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If you want to use Scotch tape, use Scotch tape. So just going ahead and doing my wing liner like I normally do. I'm kind of keeping it thin, but at the same time a good size because I want the main focus of this look to be on the eyeshadows and that black in that outer corner. So just going ahead and doing my wing, and then this step is optional, but I did want to make my black even blacker, so I'm taking my Sigma E30 pencil brush with a little bit of gel liner and putting that down into the crease of my eyeshadow. Like I said, I just really wanted it to be even blacker. I did give you guys the option before to put down the brown first and then go in with black, but for me, I really wanted that outer corner and the shadow to to be black, so I am putting a little bit of gel liner and then going back in with that noir shade. I'm just going to go back and forth, and really also just making the shadow black. I'm setting that gel liner and then just really blackening and deepening my crease shade. I know it's an extra step. You don't need to do this. If you do the brown first and then the black, I think you'll be fine. But for me, I just really wanted that crease to be black. And just making sure after every step you go in with your blending brushes and just make sure that everything is blended out. Then after that, I'm going to go ahead and prep my lashes for falsies. I'm going to go in with my Galactic Black Mascara. This is in Mink Black, I believe. Any black mascara that you have will do, of course. And then after that, I'm going to go in with lashes. Today I'm using these ones by House of Lashes, and these are in the shade Featherette. I really love these. These are definitely one of my go-tos, and I wore them over the weekend as well when I did my lace mask. I think that they're simple, yet they're a little bit dramatic. Like, I really love the way that these lashes look, and I felt that they complemented this look really, really well. I didn't want to do anything too dramatic, being that I wanted to show off the eyeshadows. I didn't want to do anything too wispy, you know what I mean? So now I'm going to go ahead and do my face. So I'm going in with my Becca Backlight Primer, and I'm going to go ahead and put this all over the face. I love this primer, and I want to go ahead and use it today because I wanted to go in with a matte foundation, and putting down a glowy base was definitely what I wanted to do. So just putting that all over the face as always. Then I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay concealer just to touch up some places on my face. Thankfully, my skin has calmed down. You guys know it was going a little bit crazy the past couple months. Thankfully, it has calmed down tremendously, and I'm so happy. I just want to go ahead and just cover up a couple spots on my face, and then blending it out with my Morphe Beauty Sponge, which I have been loving this past month. I'll probably talk about it in my favorites. For foundation, I'm going in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. First, I'm taking my Sigma concealer brush, the F75, and placing it all over, and then going in with my Morphe Beauty Sponge. I'm going to go ahead and just blend it all out. I really love the beauty sponges, the beauty blenders. I feel like they just put your foundation down like no other. I really honestly prefer them over brushes when it comes to foundation. Next, for concealer, I'm going in with these two concealers by Becca. These are the Aqua Luminous concealers. First, I'm going to go in with the shade Light and put that under my eyes to cancel out all the dark circles and the darkness under my eyes. I'm putting it in a triangle underneath my eyes because I will be highlighting, of course. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Fair just to give a little bit of lightness to my under eyes. I do like to have a lighter color under my eyes and on my face to highlight. I don't like the stark white light, but I do like it to be a little bit lighter. So just going in and combining those two, and then I'm going back in with my Morphe sponge just to blend everything out. After that, I'm going to go ahead and set everything with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm setting with my Sigma F35 tapered highlighter brush, going in and pressing it in underneath my eyes to really set that concealer so my eyes do not crease throughout the rest of the day. And I'm also going to go ahead and set the rest of my face using the same powder, pressing it in on my forehead and then just dusting it all over the rest of my face. My forehead, I do get a little bit of oil, and the rest of my face is normal dry. Next, I'm going to go ahead and bronze. I'm using my Smashbox matte suntan matte bronzer, and then I'm going to use my Sigma powder brush. I believe this is the F20, the F30. I'm going to go ahead and just bronze up the face just to add a little bit of color as well as a little bit of dimension. And then I'm going to go in with my Kat Von D Shade Light contour palette. As always, you guys know this is my go-to favorite contour palette, and I'm taking my MAC brush, my contour brush. I'm just going to go ahead and chisel out the cheeks and the forehead a little bit more using those two powders as you saw me mix out of the Kat Von D palette. Next, for brows, I'm going in with my Anastasia Brow Definer in Soft Brown. I'm just going to go ahead and outline my brows and fill them in a little bit with the brow definer, and then take the brow powder in Soft Brown to fill them in completely. You guys have seen me do my brows a million times, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I line them, but then fast forward to show you when my brows are completely done. Bam, there they are. Now for blush, we're going to go in and I'm going to use my MAC Warm Soul Blush, and I'm using my Sigma F05 contour brush. I'm just going to go ahead and apply this right onto the cheeks. This is one of my favorite blushes by MAC. It's just so complimentary, I feel like, for anybody. It's just so beautiful. For highlight, I'm going in with my go-to highlight combination this month, which I'm first going in with the cream highlighter by Becca in the shade Opal. I'm applying that right to the tops of my cheeks. As you can see, it gives a really nice subtle glow, but you know me, I like to go intense, but I love putting a cream down first and then going in with powder because I feel like it just really intensifies that powder even even more. So just applying that all over the top. And then for powder today, I'm going in with the Artist Couture Diamond Glow powder, and this is in the shade Illuminati. I'm taking my Morphe brush and applying this right on top of where I put Opal, and as you can see, it is so gorgeous. I loved this highlight today, and it's been my go-to highlight ever since. I love it, love it, love it. Now back to the eyes. I'm going back in with Cypress Umber on my E30 pencil brush by Sigma. Just applying this to the lower lash line. This is just going to be kind of the base, and then I'm going to go in with a black and just make it darker. So just going from outer corner all the way to inner corner and blending it out. And then I'm just going to go in with my E25 blending brush that I've used this whole time just to blend it out. I love going in with my E25 just to make sure the lower lash line is really seamless and blended. Then taking my noir shade, my black, any black that you have of course will do, taking that same E30 brush, I'm just going to go ahead and line it on the lower lash line, kind of keeping it closest to my waterline as I can, and just, ooh, almost dropped it. See, I'm such a klutz. I always drop things, and I almost just dropped it on myself there. But anyway, just applying that black all around the lower lash line, and then back with my E20 blending brush, just making sure that everything is nice and blended together. You can make the lower lash line as dark as you want. I kind of wanted to keep it very browny, more with a little bit of black, not too black. Then for the waterline, I'm going in with my Tarte Skinny Smolder eyeliner in Onyx. You guys know this is my favorite eyeliner, the only black liner that I've ever used, I think, here on my channel. I'm just applying that right into the waterline. For inner corner highlight, I'm going in with the shade, I think it's Primavera, or is it Vermeer? I think it's Vermeer, actually. Applying that right to the inner corner using the brush that I used before. And then I want to go ahead and just accentuate that inner corner wing with my LA Girl Fine Line liquid liner. I'm not doing a really intense inner corner wing. I just really sometimes like to accentuate it and make it a point just to really make the eyes even more pronounced. I just really love doing this. It's something that I feel like it just completely changes the look when you do this. Just making an inner corner wing, and then the eyes are completely not done because we have to go ahead and apply mascara on the lower lashes. I'm going to go in with my Galactic mascara that I used before and just apply a good coat of mascara on those lower lashes. Now, last step of this look, we are doing lips. I was between doing nude or doing red. I didn't know which one to go ahead and do. I was going to keep it safe and go with nude, of course, but I wanted to go ahead, change it up, make it really intense and glam, so I decided red was the way to go. So first, I'm going to go ahead and line my lips. I'm using my MAC lip liner in Cherry, do a little dance, and then line the lips. Going in with my MAC lip liner in Cherry. This is one of my favorite red lip liners. It's just my go-to liner for whenever I do a nice bright red or when I want to go ahead and do a dark red. So of course, lining my lips with this. Of course, you guys can line your lips as you please. And then for my red today, I was going to go with a dark red, but at the last minute I decided to change it up and go with one of my favorite reds. This is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is in the shade Seraphine. I don't know what it is about this lipstick, but it's one of my favorite reds. I feel like it's just so complimentary to me. It's like my perfect red color. I actually have a backup for when in doubt something happens to this color. It's one of my favorites. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my lips with this color as you see me doing here. And then after that, I want to go ahead and make the lips even more glossy and glam. I'm going in with the Jouer Cosmetics Skinny Dip and applying this all over the lips, and I feel like it just really completes this whole look. So after that, your look is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, and also make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Thank you for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.